Have you ever wanted to know the status of certain electronics in your RV and the temperature readings of your refrigerator? Well, this is a product review of the wireless monitoring system, the RVWhisper. When I purchased the RVWhisper, I wanted to know the temperature in a few locations, and I wanted to know my battery voltage. So I bought 4 sensors and the unit itself. The battery sensor is something I can't take off. It's hardwired into the unit up there, and maybe I'll get a picture of that for you to show you what that is. And a Thornwave battery monitor, and it gets its information from all the power being sucked out through the shunt and being pushed in through the shunt. It's tied into the negative side of the battery system, and that works pretty good. Anyway, that's Bluetooth back to the RVWhisper. There's another device that Ed sells, and that is where you just clip right onto the battery. So if your batteries are somewhere where it's, watertight, where they're not going to get rained on, you clip that device on. It's got its own alligator clips, and you'll see that in the link on the RVWhisper website. Clip that onto your batteries, and it'll transmit back to the RVWhisper also. You literally take this, put it somewhere in your RV, and then you take these sensors, which also I've put the supplied Velcro that comes with the units. I put that on the back. See if I can get a close-up there. This will track all my battery usage, the incoming from my solar panels and the outgoing from what we use. But the temperature sensors are these little Humitag sensors. They're Bluetooth. They talk to the unit. I've got here, it's this sensor in a watertight moisture barrier container. And that's because in my refrigerator and my freezer, I don't need to know the humidity. I really could care less, but I want to know the temperature. And so this keeps the moisture out of the sensors and keeps them from getting damaged if they were to be damaged. Not that you have to have that, but that's what it is. So this container just has a screw-on lid. I put the sensor in it and it's good to go. These sensors mount wherever. I just stick these on a shelf in my refrigerator, in my freezer, and that tracks what the temperature is. After you load that thing up, you load your refrigerator up with food, you want to know how long it takes to get cold again. The RVWhisper will alert you via text message or an email to let you know that there's a problem. I'll put a link down below to the website, and you can see what sensors are there. Ed Bender is the creator and designer of the RVWhisper product. He's got sensors for the pedestal surge protector, door locks. Is it sea level? I don't know if sea level is the manufacturer that they made their deal. Anyway, it's Bluetooth, and that tracks your tank levels. And so this will talk to that device, track that as well. So the RVWhisper is a baby computer like I was describing. It gathers all the information from your sensors, and you get that information on your smart device or through a web browser on a PC. And as long as your RV has internet access, you'll get notifications if there's a problem, or know if the temperature is too high, too low, that sort of thing. Let's get into showing you what the app does. So I'm going to log into my RVWhisper using the provided app. You can download that through Google Play or the Apple Store, I believe. Once I'm logged into the app, you can see my RV. I gave it a name, K7YAA-T. Happens to be the trailer name. And you can see from the way I set it up, I've got my battery SOC, state of charge, my refrigerator and my freezer temperatures. You'll notice that they're not very cold, but that's because I took the sensors out to shoot this video. And I'll go back in some of the history and show you what I mean by that. Inside the RV, it's showing 75 degrees, and outside it's 100. I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to click on the freezer, the 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It's going to bring that up. If I look back, immediately comes up with a 3-hour history, and you can see that 3 hours ago, up until when I shot this video, it was at like 1 degree, something like that. Very, very nice for the freezer. And of course I took it out, took the sensor out, put it on the counter, and shot the video, and the temperature rose up. So it's going to go back and drop down to where it needs to be in no time at all. I'm going to change this now, go back to 12 hours in time, and you can see there's a little wave of how low the temperature is. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to go back now 48 hours. The time period, I can select any amount of hours or even pick a calendar date range. Pick 48 hours. The freezer has not gotten above 10 degrees. That's pretty awesome, and that's with people getting in and out of the thing. Let's go back 96 hours. How about that? And again, this is barely over 10. We were probably loading it at that point, which is why the temperature was higher. This is the kind of information that you get, which is pretty darn amazing. I love this. So I'm going to click on this gear wheel here underneath history and pick a start date and time. All right, so I'm going to pick a start time of like a week ago until now. We'll pick today. So it's going back 7 days to gather the information for 7 days in the freezer. And look at that, you can see that at one point the temperature was all the way up to 12. And you can see all those dark, like wavy lines. That's like every half hour the temperature goes up and back down a total of 6 degrees. So let's go down to, I'm going to pick a different one. I scroll to the top of the app and pick battery voltage this time. So right now the battery is 100% and I have 13.7 volts coming in. Say between the draw and the filling of what's going on with the solar panels, I have a positive 0.8 of an amp. And I'm pretty sure that running the refrigerator, solar panels are having to cover that. All right, so now that we see the information from the battery voltage, I'm going to scroll down and see what the difference is for the last 3 hours. It's not much, so we're going to go back 48 hours. That's going to show some time while we were camping. All right, here you can see that for the day, as the battery was 100%, and it drops down to, let's say, September 16th at 6:26 a.m., its lowest point was 91% battery. And so the only thing that came on would be toilet would flush, or the refrigerator was running, and you always need a little bit of power to run the control board in the refrigerator. If I go back, let's say 96 hours. Okay, at 96 hours, you can see going back to September 9th, the battery going down to 95%. And right there, what you're seeing come across the screen is the RVWhisper alerting me that, oh my gosh, your refrigerator and freezer are like so warm, it's going nuts. But really, we know it's not, because I took the sensors out and shot the video showing you those sensors. So as they cool down, those text messages will stop displaying. Normally when we're out boondocking, I'll see that thing go down to maybe 70%, something like that. And you don't just see that, but you see the voltage as you're going along. So you know what the voltage is while it's consuming, and then the voltage as it's being filled. So the highest is 14.5. I think my solar panels are set to 14.6. So if I were to zoom into that, you would see that it's like 14.6 peak on those days when they're getting full. The current draw, this doesn't show you much because we didn't do much, but when I'm out camping and I use the coffee maker, that thing draws like 80 amps for a short period of time. It doesn't reflect that here on this little demonstration because we weren't doing it at that time. All right, so that's the end of this part of reviewing the data of the RVWhisper app. There's also the website that you go to. It's the same thing. You log in, you just get a bigger screen because you're using your web browser. There are alerts. I'm going to go to this page here. I can set up the refrigerator so that it shows when it's time to let me know that there's a problem, it's going to do that. And I can acknowledge the alerts to make them stop. You can tell the RVWhisper to alert you every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, or whatever. That's the alerts. There's far more information and far more configuration you can do. I'm not going to go into full detail of all the settings of the app because Ed Bender covers that on his website on how to set things up and what to do. Once you set your RVWhisper up to connect to a Wi-Fi, whether it's at a campground, it's a hotspot in your RV, or it's at your home, it automatically hooks up to that Wi-Fi and starts reporting its information. You can have your RV at home, you can be at work or be somewhere else and log in and see the statistics. And during my installation, I had a lot of questions for Ed Bender, and he was really generous with his time, and he helped me get through the things that I needed to make this work for my installation. All right, well, thanks for watching this video for the RVWhisper product. It's a valuable tool for doing some troubleshooting in the RV that I discovered. So that's how I use it. If you're interested in seeing the installation of this product, put a comment down below and show some interest there, and I'll put together a video about that. And hey, if you don't mind, click the subscribe button down below and click the notification bell to let you know the next video that I put out. That would really help me grow the channel. I need 1,000 subscribers, and everyone helps, and I sure appreciate that. Thanks for watching.